Cunningham, West Palm Beach, Florida, USA. This is a Briggs Cunningham. Kind of think John Fitch. He made his own cars with 331 Chrysler Hemis. And I don't know much about this car or these cars at all.
Thank you so much for making the drive up.
3 on the tree.
Wonderful. Yeah. Have you come here not only
It is an interesting car. Knockoff wheels with a hairpin clip.
You're one of a kind.
I can't tell you anything about this car. This gentleman here drives it. He knows what it is, and I don't know what it is.
Sorry, left side of that, behind that vet, please.
Behind the vet. Will do.
Okay.
331 Hemi. One day we'll meet when it's not about to rain.
Yeah, Chuck is my name. Chuck Schoendorf.
I'm CORVAIRWILD on YouTube.
Oh,
CORVAIRWILD on YouTube.
Okay. This car's all over. You'll find it on YouTube. And
I'll put it on too. It's a Cunningham 331, built in what year?
1952.
1952. What a history this car must have. It could only talk, huh?
Yeah, let me tell you, this car, it's the only one that was sold to someone outside of the country. It went to Brazil, and it stayed there from 52 until 2005. A couple of guys found it, brought it back to the States. I bought it in 06. Spent 5, 6, 7 years on it, and here it is.
Next year, if you show up, we'll discuss it a bit more. I'm curious. Hemi powered. 3 on the tree.
4 on the tree.
4 on the tree, of course. It's a Cunningham. Rumble, rumble. Muscle machine from 1952. That rumble. Sold to Brazil, and it came back 7 years ago. If only I had the time. What a great car. I'll have to read a little bit about it. I know a little bit about everything, but...
Yeah, on the internet, Briggs Cunningham, Cunningham C3. There's a ton out there. There are books out there.
How many were made?
25.
And they're aluminum?
Steel and aluminum.
25, as in 2 dozen?
Yeah.
Total?
25, that's it. 20 coupes, 5 convertibles, end of story.
Wow.
Yeah. Steel front fenders. The rest of it's aluminum.
Right there. Aluminum.
Yeah, aluminum.
Aluminium, of course. Leather. Wow, what a rumble. 1952 rumble. Yeah, that's what you had after World War II. Crank that baby up. $25. This car could get you in trouble. You're lucky you're over 25 or 30. It's not a car for a kid. What did they cost when they were new? When you could buy anything for $2,000.
Yeah, back then they were selling for $10,000 to $12,000.
When you could buy any car you wanted for $2,000.
He lost money on everyone at that.
He lost. This was 25.
25.
20.
It sold in the 10 to 12,000.
10 to 12, and a house was 15,000 tops back in '52. Solid lifter engine, or a
no, they were hydraulics.
Because hydraulics were only in 49, I think, on the Oldsmobiles.
Yeah, well, it's a 51. The early Hemi came out in 51, and it had hydraulics.
Early Hemi 51. Wow. What a rumble. What a special car. Body by Vignali of Italy.
What's it got for an engine?
Hemi. Yep. You gotta get one of those big stickers. It's got a Hemi.
52. Pretty cool.
What a fantastic car. A Briggs Cunningham. 25 made, and this one is one of 25. That's crazy. Jeez. Pull aside these leather straps. Press to refill. Every car should have leather straps that hold the hood shut.
Well, it's a racing feature, which this car had from when it was new. The first owner spec'd, I got it.
I'm not going to touch it. I'm just looking at the edge of the hood. Now, you'd put this car back together. Oh my goodness. That's not what I expected to see. I guess everybody says that, huh? Those are Webers. 40 DCOEs? Wow. Well, we'll just guess. 6-volt charging system, and it's a 19. So is it built on the frame of something? Where did they start with?
It was a proprietary chassis. Briggs Cunningham built the chassis for his race cars and his street cars. So he built a running chassis, sent it by boat to Italy, bodied it, did the interior paint, sent them back.
Body by which was John Fitch sent his body to. Where did John Fitch have his Fitch Phoenix made? Turin, I think.
Turin was the body shop capital of Italy. Torino.
Unbelievable. 4 on the tree with a what transmission?
It's a Borg-Warner. We adapted it to the Hemi engine for drivability. Originally, this particular car had a Fluidmatic, which is a semi-automatic transmission.
Right. Because those only started in the late 40s, automatic transmissions. You've done a sweet job. It's a lot more complicated than it looks. Now the serial number is 5214.
Correct. 1952.
Number 14.
Actually, it's car number 9 of the series, but it was the 14th car that Cunningham built.
That's crazy. I was at a museum in Tacoma, Washington, the LeMay Museum.
Oh, yeah.
The LeMay, he has this new fancy museum, but he has an old family junkyard museum. There's a 57 Packard there, sold in Russia as a 74 Gaza Praza Gizawiza. It's got the generator with the cast iron pulley and a power steering pump on the back of the generator. It's a 57 Packard, but they produced them in Russia.
Yeah.
Interesting to see that. Giant oil filter housing.
Which engine is it?
331.
331, yeah.
It's
One of the
first,
early ones, yeah.
First series Chrysler Hemi.
I was saying you should paint some billboard, "It's a Hemi" on the side, like the new.
Yeah.
This is 4 Webers.
Yeah.
Did they all have this intake, or was a few made for racing?
They all had a log manifold, but typically back then they used 4 single barrel carburetors, either Zenith or Stromberg. And this car had Zenith originally. I have them, but I found these carburetors and decided to adapt them to the manifold to the Webers.
Right.
It runs like hell. So
got it figured out. You obviously know what you're doing.
well,
You're the man.
Hey, everything's an experiment.
Yeah, really, it is. 50 years later, 60 years.
Yeah, everything's a work in progress.
Still experimenting. All right, it's time to give the awards. Cunningham, wow.